What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again with another banger for you, my people. I want to talk about 5 players with something to prove next season in women's college hoops. And now, a lot of these are household names. You might wonder to yourself, wait a minute, how do first team All Americans and national award winners have something to prove? I'm gonna break it down for you. Some of them in new situations, some of them taking on bigger roles, all of them betting on themselves. With no further ado, y'all know the vibes. Kick back, relax, and take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
So 5 players I want to talk about. All accomplished, all make some noise, all are known. But every one of them in different situations in their careers right now. And I think they personally have something to prove coming into the season with a chip on their shoulder. Starting off, no further ado, we got national player runner-up Hannah Hidalgo. She's had 2 of the most productive seasons in women's college hoops out of any guard so far. She is a household name, but now she finds herself with the keys to this offense. No Olivia Miles to share the rock with. No Sonya Citron to share the rock with. Hannah Hidalgo is going to have to be the key to the ignition and the absolute heartbeat for Notre Dame this season if they want to get back to the promised land. Last season, Hidalgo averaged 23.8 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and shot 46.3% from the field. She's also always one of the top steal getters. She's got a defensive player of the year award in the ACC already to her name. When you talk about impact, when you talk about dog, competitor, ferocious, wants to rip your freaking heart out, look in the crowd and tell your parents what she just did. We're talking about one of the most electrifying basketball players with the rock in her hands, period. When you talk about 3-level scorer, plays with pace, hard, dang near impossible to stay in front of, can get to the cup, elite layup package, and get her shot off the dribble, deep 3-point range, and she just has that dog in her, man. Like, she is not going to give up on her team. She's not going to give up on the game no matter if they're down, what possession it is in the contest. She wants the basketball with the game on the line. She's one of my favorite players to watch, just dynamic, 5'6", but a bully on the court. Now, like I said, no Sonya Citron, no Olivia Miles. She's going to be the absolute dominant ball handler. She's going to get all the shots she wants. She's going to have to be the lead playmaker for Notre Dame on top of being the lead scorer. She's going to have to grab rebounds and possibly guard the opposing team's top perimeter threat. There is going to be a lot on Hannah Hidalgo's shoulders. Now, we know what type of performer she is under those bright lights. We're talking about an AP first team All-American year. So the talent is there, the accolades are there, but she finds herself taking on a much bigger role at Notre Dame. And I'm excited to see how she embraces that new challenge. I'm betting on Hannah Hidalgo, ACC Player of the Year. See it happen again. She will be firmly in the running for that National Player of the Year as well. Moving on, another player, less accomplished, but a sophomore rising, Joyce Edwards. Now, a lot has been made about Ashlyn Watkins taking the year off from basketball. That puts more pressure on Joyce Edwards. We know Chloe Kitts. We know what she brings to the table, dog competitor, but I think it may be up to Joyce Edwards to be that alpha this season, that number 1 scoring option, that dominant post presence. Now, I'm not sleeping on Medina Okot. I've talked about her being the X factor for this group, and she will be a prolific scorer, I think, down low in the paint and be a force on the defensive side. But Joyce Edwards, just seeing what she did in the Mary Cup, leading Team USA, we see that she's ready to take that next step. There is a gap right now between her and Sarah Strong, who they've been tied together 1 and 2, and they will be for their foreseeable basketball futures. This is the time for Joyce Edwards to take that major leap in year 2, man. I think she's handling defenses as far as double teams extremely well. We're seeing her expand her game, shooting the mid-range, taking defenders off dribbles more, looking to play make, and this is a player that they can run the offense through. She's got burst. She doesn't give like as much lift off the ground as people would like, and she does force some tough shots sometimes. This season, I want to see her be more efficient with the shot selection, which we got to give her some credit. She's a freshman. But she broke Asia Wilson's record for most scoring points scored as a freshman. and she continues to exceed expectations. I'm just looking for a major leap this season. I don't see a sophomore slump. South Carolina has got a lot of talent around her to where she doesn't have to do it on her own. But if they are going to get back into that national championship game and win, it's going to be on Joyce Edwards heavy, heavy this season, man. I think she really is going to be relied upon to do a lot more than she's typically done last season. But I think she's ready for it. I think she's ready to really make that next step. She averaged 12.7 points per game last season, 5 rebounds, 1.2 assists, shot 52.9% from the field. I want to see that get up to about 60. I want to see them rebounds get up closer to about 9 or 10. And I think just with her athletic ability, her mobility, they may play faster this season. Her ability to run the floor, fill lanes, and get open off ball, I think is going to serve her well. Her tenaciousness, the tenacity, just a nonstop motor that will not give up on any possession for this team. I think it's going to be major for her development and for her to get even more minutes and potentially enter the starting lineup for South Carolina. Next up, staying with the Gamecocks, man, the former Gamecock, Milaysia Fulwiley. Sixth Player of the Year, national champion, one of the most electrifying guards in the entire country. Averaged 11.7 points, 2.8 rebounds, 2 assists. This may be the first time in her collegiate career where she could be a regular starter. Now, in my breakdown of LSU, I know I mentioned some people are projecting Kaylin Gilbert, KG, to be the starting point guard. Can Milaysia Fulwiley make that adjustment? Like we see 2 assists, if she can get up to 5, and just control the tempo, really harness her playmaking ability and her ability to just run an offense and take care of the basketball and play more efficiently and more controlled basketball. She has the skill set to be the point guard for this team. Now, is it going to be like a Haley Van Lith situation where they put a scoring guard into the mix and Coach Kim Mulkey just isn't able to develop her as a point guard? We saw Haley Van Lith have those skills at TCU. And we're going to see if Milaysia Fulwiley can make the same transition into that lead guard spot. She's electrifying with the basketball. She can get anywhere on the court she wants to. She can get her shot anytime she wants to. She's one of the most toughest guards in transition, man. Like, if she gets ahead of steam and gets downhill, she absolutely puts the defenses on their heels. She shocked the college basketball world, not only for leaving South Carolina, which I don't think was a super shock, but it was still a shock, but then jumping over to LSU with a crowded backcourt like Flau'jae Johnson, like Michaela Williams, like KG, like Burridge, like Bella Hines, like Zakiya Johnson, like this backcourt, Jada Richard, like this backcourt, LSU is very crowded, more so than it is at South Carolina, but bringing in Taniyah Laston was an upgrade in my opinion, but it may have cost them Milaysia Fulwiley. All eyes will be on Lay now. She made that move. Gamecocks fans are pissed. We're going to find out if it was the right move for her trajectory. She's got the foundation, and she does have the talent to be a lottery pick in the WNBA draft, but we got to see if it all finally comes together for her and if she will get those starter minutes. Next up, we mentioned TCU. Olivia Miles following in the footsteps of Haley Van Lith. Even there was some alleged static between her and Hannah Hidalgo, a rift. Not saying that's why she transferred. Could have had something to do with it a little bit. But I think it was more so her wanting to run her own team and not share the basketball so much. We saw her with Team USA and Mary Cup leading the whole tournament in assists. So we know she's one of the best passers, a straight dimer. Some of the best court vision we've seen. She was projected to be the first guard off the draft board, the number 2 pick of the WNBA draft. Shunned the WNBA draft. Salute to her. That new CBA agreement could be very lucrative for the rookie contract. And that's just something you really don't see on the men's side, man. You going top 5 in the draft, basically guaranteed, and you shun it to go back to college. We would not see that on the men's side in this day and age. But that's another whole discussion with the WNBA and the bargaining agreement. But she comes back. Now, this either gives us more time to nitpick her game, or this gives her time to really transform. One, earn that NIL money, get a bigger rookie contract, and potentially be the number 1 pick in this draft. You talk about a player that just knows how to play the game. High IQ, absolutely takes the reins and controls the offense. She was the lead guard, the elite assist, the orchestrator for Notre Dame, and now she doesn't have to split that time with Hannah Hidalgo. TCU didn't bring a whole lot back. We knew they were going to hit the transfer portal. We knew they were going to hit the recruiting trail. So it's going to be interesting to see. I know for a fact, though, having Olivia Miles at the point guard position is going to make things easier for the rest of this roster because she's great in transition. She can get downhill. She shot the best she shot ever in her career from the 3-point line this past season, which I think showed a lot. She averaged 15.4 points, 5.6 assists or rebounds, 5.8 assists, shooting 48.3% from the field. Seeing her in a different conference with a fresh start, it's going to be different seeing her in that purple and white. But I'm excited to see her lead a team, and it's exciting to see this talent being spaced out more. Next up, we got Lauren Betts, reigning Defensive Player of the Year. Another draft pick that would have went top 5 that shunned the WNBA draft and decided to come back to college and play with little sis Sienna Betts. Now, we know Coach Close and UCLA has had a loaded team. It seems like her and Kiki Rice have been putting in work for so long, and they always blow it in the tournament and come up short and choke. Is this finally with Gianna Neekins in this lineup, with Sienna Betts, with Gabriela Jaquez coming back, with Dugalich coming back? Like, this is another loaded roster. Can they get it done, though? That is going to be the question. Can they get over the hump? Lauren Betts was one of the most dominant players on both sides of the basketball last season, period. And I think she's coming in with a chip on her shoulder. Winning a championship had to be a big motivating factor coming back as well. Averaged 20.2 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, 2.7 assists, was hosting block parties at 6'7", shot an impressive 64.8% from the field. I want to see her continue to be dominant in those big games and work on the playmaking ability as well when she's drawing so much attention, getting closer to 3.5, 4 assists per game. This offense looks totally different when they run it through her. Teams kind of figured her out in the NCAA tournament later in the season. And, it's hard to say that somebody is as accomplished as her has something to prove, but that ever elusive national championship is still not in her possession yet. So we got to see, man. We got to see if she's going to get it done this season, if UCLA is going to finally get over the hump, and if we can take them serious. They were the number 1 overall seed last season and didn't even make the national title game. Now, they've had this team together, this nucleus, for quite some time, and, hey, man, it's time to bring some hardware home. That is a wrap for me, though. 5 players that I think have something to prove that will come in with a chip on their shoulder this season. Love to see it. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. That is a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. This is the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Until next time, my people, we out.